Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Thursday, my last day of work here, and Chris had to take a position yesterday for one of the guys that didn't come to work yesterday, so we didn't get about an hour up of videos. So that's going up, but I'd like to try to get this one up first. I'm going to dedicate most of this. I only have 20 minutes now. Dang. But I'm going to make this particular video on one particular case because this lady is really suffering, and you're going to find this an interesting case. She's been to a lot of MDs, naturopaths, osteopaths, been a lot of places, and hasn't found the help. And that's because we have a big lack of understanding how you regenerate the body. And so I'm going to read her case, and this is a case I need your help on. You guys will help me to help this lady fix herself. Her name's Kelly. And got some problems, Kelly. But you can fix them, sweetheart. I'm going to first address this dog thing about grapes. Plenty of dogs eat grapes, guys. And not that I care whether you make a dog a fruitarian, but they have a GI tract. Omnivores, this is why they call Homo sapiens omnivores, because in GI tract links, we're closer to the omnivore in our GI tract length. The average GI tract of a omnivore is 12 times the length of their spine, and ours is 10 times the length of their spine. Ours is 12, and a herbivore is 30. So it shows you the amount of fiber and the amount of digestive need, especially when you look at the teeth and the difference between an omnivore, a frugivore, and a herbivore's teeth. You'll see a big difference. But plenty of dogs eat fruit, man. I have a lot of friends and their dogs eat a lot of grapes and things. Can't imagine the dog rushed to the hospital for eating a grape. That's ridiculous. Maybe it created a healing crisis in them and they didn't know what to do. I don't know. Never heard of anything like that in my life. A lot of dogs eat grapes. So I don't know. You don't have to put your dog on grapes. I'm not telling you to, but a lot of dogs like a lot of things. Some dogs won't touch any fruit or vegetables. Okay, let's go over this case for Kelly, because this is a case, Kelly, where you are obviously a hurting woman, and this is, and I'll read this off to you because it's neurally mediated hypotension, meaning it's a neurologically mediated low blood pressure. And I mean really low. When she stands, it keeps going down, down, down. She feels her blood isn't being pumped to the top, and so she pulls the blood in the legs, and the legs start turning purple. They also call it, let me see here, neurocardiogenic syncope, vasodepressor syncope, and vasovagal reflex. Same all kinds of things, autonomic dysfunction. Well, no kidding, hypotension. First of all, your adrenals are shot. Now, let me give you a clue to what's been going on with this person. And she really gives a good clue here to when this all started. But I have to tell you that you have to realize that when you wake up with something going on with you, it just didn't happen overnight. Now, there was a mediating factor here with her that really set this in motion, but she already had the precursor set up for this, I guarantee you. And of course, you know, I've been talking a lot about the weaknesses that we're seeing in people. Particularly the younger people, extreme kidney weakness, extreme adrenal fatigue or failure, thyroids, pituitaries. I mean, we're seeing the decay of the endocrine gland system. We're seeing the decay of the lymphatic system, which is the body's main immune system. So we're seeing these things. To be honest with you, and not to be offensive to medical doctors, but this is way out of your guys' leagues. This is the problem. You have to step up a lot higher to understand how you fix these and what's going on with her. They've had her on every medication you can name here, all from Klonopin to oh my God, Topramax, Ativan, Xanax, Ambien, Neurontin. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on that they've had her. And then she says, my head has been injected with so much lidocaine that I cannot even count. You know, this is this kind of problem that we're having here in our healing system. The medical doctors cannot use the word health. It is not in their nomenclature. It has nothing to do with them. They are involved in the treatment of symptoms. Unfortunately, we have these toxic chemicals and a lack of understanding of these things. So I will say this about you, Kelly. You were definitely born with very weak adrenal glands to start, guaranteed. Now, you could have been raised around or consumed in some way neurotoxins through your life. And we've discussed neurotoxins, from pesticides to herbicides to perfumes to, we don't make beautiful things anymore out of nature. We radically alter all this chemistry. It's cheaper. We can just, use antifreeze products and makeups now and stuff. No big deal. So we just have an extreme lack of big deal with chemists. Chemists, I just can't stand. I'm a chemist and I can't stand chemists because they're locked into this idea that chemistry doesn't bother anything. They're like blinders on. And biochemists are just as bad. I mean, they're just, everybody's got this biochemist thinking, and every biochemist is almost different. The problem with this, yes, it's chemistry, but we cannot use the intellectual mind to look at this, and we can't use the effect to understand the cause. You can in terms of symptomology, but not in chemistry. There's too many cofactors involved here. So this is a case of big-time neurotoxicity. And I'm going to read you her case here. They want a pacemaker because she has this this tachycardia and bradycardia, which is what's a Brady-Tachy syndrome here. Let me see here. Let me start with this. Let's start with this. She was born with some epilepsy anyway. All right, so here we go. We know, one, she's neurally compromised anyway. Two, she probably has a parathyroid, not meaning you and the third party, Kelly, but you have a parathyroid, my guess, issue where you're not utilizing calcium properly. That would fit right into this issue really strongly here. So you'd want to look at that. I need more about your case and your body here. But all these people haven't been able to help you, and that's a crying shame. You spent almost $80,000 here, and I hear this all the time. And there's only one road you have to walk down to get over this. There's only one road, and you're at it right now. And it's an important case to show the rest of you guys what you have to do to find remedy for this girl. If not, she's horrible, horrible life. She can't get up. It's horrible. When she stands up, her blood pressure drops to 84/60. I have some that, and it keeps dropping because we have some that stand up that they pass out. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And this is what happens. She goes into sudden bradycardia, which is real low heart rate. So she was born with this petit mal epilepsy. She grew out of the epilepsy when she was 15 years old, although you didn't grow out of the causative factors, I'm sure. In 2006, she was hospitalized with orthostatic intolerance. I was just standing in my bathroom getting ready to go to an event when my husband and I could feel the blood draining out of my feet, draining to my feet. I thought I was having a stroke. He called 911, blah, 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 blah. Let me go back to, in 2008, I had a back surgery on L4 and L5. What does that tell you right now? She had back surgery on L4 and L5. Now, she went under anesthetics. She went under anesthesia. So remember to keep that in the back of your mind. She's already had a neurotoxic event right here. L4 and L5, of course, sweetheart, is your kidney vertebrae. So you already know you were born with very weak kidneys. Well, what sits on top of the kidneys? The adrenal glands. And what does the adrenal glands control? The autonomic nervous system, okay? So you've got an autonomic nervous system weakness already, and that's your systolic blood pressure. That's your top blood pressure. That's your neurotransmitters to get this, the nervous system pumping, the nervous system pumping. Now, so she had right there, it tells you a big clue what there. What followed was several epidurals throughout 2009 due to obvious pain and sciatic during the right leg. In 2009, she was growing very anxious, so the adrenals were hyperstimulated then or getting really low in their functions then. She was getting ready to have anxieties big time. She had a lot of respiratory infections and sinus infections. Well, of course, she was born with weak kidneys. She wasn't moving her lymph system. Probably her diet had dairy in it. She was congested in her lungs and her sinuses here. etc., etc., etc. Now, this is I wanted to find out here where she was talking about right here. This is when her story began. Prior to January 18th, 2010, I was very healthy, not what you think you were. You might have felt healthy, sweetheart, but I'm telling you, your history here shows you weren't healthy, and this is part of the illusion. We feel good, we're active, we don't realize we have a problem, and then we have surgery on L4 and L5. That's kidney weakness. You've had it. You probably had it all your life, to be honest with you. Your adrenals are low to begin with. You just didn't realize that. Okay? She was vibrant, socially successful, and driven. She worked for Abbott Laboratories. I have an excellent track record, Abbott. January 8th. Get this one. January 8th, I was given a flu vaccine. All right, and felt so dizzy afterwards that I contacted my physician, who reassured me I was fine. Oh yeah, I didn't feel fine. I had the flu, but after the vaccine I felt even worse. I felt dizzy and oddly fatigued. All right, so what do we know about vaccines? Neurotoxic? Walk right up. We're going to shoot you full of neurotoxicity. You know, sue the pharmaceutical company over this one. You know, this had probably had thimerosal, the mercury in there, and we're going to get to her mercury problems here. But this is an exacerbator of symptoms. What is mercury? It's a neurotoxin. Is it bad for you? I don't know. The hospital quarantines an area where there's a mercury spill. It has to be red bagged. You know, this is the kind of stupidity that even dentists are running with. Oh, we'll keep using it. I mean, this is what's wrong with the human race. And so I feel for you, honey. That was a neurotoxic shot, and right there it started breaking down your adrenals even more. Plus, mercury is like aluminum. Where does it love to congregate? Upstairs. It's a central nervous system neurotoxin. And I can tell you, with the sinus infection and the respiratory infection, you were congested heavily up in the head area and up in the cerebellum. You're getting dizzy. This is the cerebellum right here. And this is where the blood pressures can go boom. You set that swinging blood pressure. When this gets inflamed or acidic and swollen, you go down. You know, your blood pressure can just drop like nobody's business. Vertigo, dizzy. And that just exacerbated your weakness and your problem already there, okay? On the 18th, she was playing with my dog in the condo. My legs buckled on the bathroom stair, and I fell, hitting my chin on the bathroom floor. I was very disoriented and felt very sick to my stomach afterwards. The following day, I went to the ER because of this feeling remained. I was diagnosed with having post-concussional syndrome. I love those guys. On the 22nd, I was walking my dog outside, suddenly felt the blood rushing to my feet and began to stumble. Ooh. Go on, it just makes me sick. Sweetheart. You know what? She's been to the Mayo Clinic, she's been to all these places. And you know what? I don't care if it's the Mayo, the Cleveland, it doesn't matter. They're all the same. I could tell you some stories about the Mayo Clinic, you just fall off your chair laughing. I'll tell you one of them. One lady flew in from London. She had tumors all around her leg. And I asked her, I said, do you drink milk? She said, well, of course I drink milk. I said, well, what have you been doing? She said, well, I've been coming over to the Mayo Clinic every year for 7, 8 years. Spent I said, well, what have you been doing? She said, well, I've been coming over to the Mayo Clinic every year for 7, 8 years. Spent tens of thousands of dollars. And I said, just out of curiosity, what does the Mayo Clinic have you doing for those tumors? She said, they have me wrapping my leg in cellophane. I fell off of my chair laughing like nobody's business. In about 2 months, I had them all gone but one little bitty one, and was she mad. She'd spent a lot of money coming over to the Mayo Clinic, and all they had to do was wrapping her legs with cellophane. Of course, the tumors were still there. No understanding of the lymph system there. That's the kind of crap we're faced right now. So I mean, this goes on and on and on. Where she's had heart, she's had all kinds of drugs, and then reactions to the drugs. I mean, it's just on and on and on. And some of these are neurotoxic. She's already neurotoxic, slamming her even more neurotoxic. I mean, these guys are way out of their league. They have no understanding. So this is I mean, this case just keeps going on. Sad kind of stuff. They over-medicated her with Ativan. They over-medicated with Klonopin, which you know, which is Darvocet. I mean, it just goes on and on and on here. She has no life at all here. According to the pharmacy, 1 milligram of Klonopin is equal to 20 milligrams of diazepam, genetic for Valium. Of course, that's going to really slam you because that's a neurotoxin. Jesus criminy. I mean, you've been through a lot of crap, sweetheart, I'll tell you. Anything else I could reach? Okay, so in November 2010, she showed in her, what was this, urinalysis or something? Extreme, I've got it here, real high levels. You got a lot of heavy metal toxicity here. You've got high levels of arsenic, high levels of mercury, antimony, cadmium, cesium, it's not so bad, but tin. I mean, you've got a lot of heavy metal issues here. So she had chelation therapies, all this sort of thing. All right, so I looked through your blood work real quick. You've got some glucose, 95, not so bad. Creatinine is 0.61, a little high, but not bad, really, within normal ranges. Her blood work looks great, but whoa, wait a minute. This person can't even stand up, but her blood work looks good. Okay, maybe a little low thyroid there. No kidding. I'm going to claim you have a parathyroid weakness on top of this. Hematology looks good. Well, what's the problem? Because it's a neurotoxicity. It's a neurological. And this is a big issue for you, honey. So you only have one way to go to get yourself out of this one. And that is start reversing this whole thing. Go back and address the causative problems and keep detoxifying your body. If you have to go slow here at first, you go slow, but you kick it up. I'm going to help you free as much as I can. The pharmacy will see what they can do with the herbs. We know you have no money. So I hope this video helps you. I will give you a clue that the supplements you should be on, I won't call them supplements, but let's look at what she should be on, guys. She should definitely be on the kidneys. I would do 2 kidneys. She's been in kidney failure most of her life. The adrenals, this is where you really need the glandulars. I'll tell you right now. I would definitely do the Calma Plus glandular, which is a little Calmeg, unfortunately, but this case probably could use it with the parathyroid tissue, which will pop up the parathyroid, give her parathormone, will start to utilize calcium, start strengthening the myelin sheaths. This will really help. Also help with neurotransmitter transport. We also are popping up the adrenal glands. We want to have her on a desiccated adrenal gland, and I'd really hit that baby hard. I'd do 3, 4 tablets 3 times a day at least. You're definitely going to start moving on your lymph system because you're congested here. You were congested back then with the sinus and respiratory. You gave me a good indication your whole journey here and what was wrong with you. Sorry that other naturopaths couldn't identify with that. That's one of their problems. The other thing is here, you've got some CNS issues. You've got cerebellum. Everything you talk about is coming out of this cerebellum here. And that's just because you're not draining down through the kidneys. At the same time, you want to do upper circulation and brain and nerve. Those are key. Love the herbs because now we got some goodies to come in and help you. Upper circ, brain and nerve. That'll push blood all around up there, bring more oxygen in those cells. It'll strengthen the nervous system, but you got to move those lymphs. Vital to get that acidosis out of there because you also have to get your heavy metals down. Chelation therapy, okay, that's blood. What about the lymph storage? And the lymph storage is so much more than the blood. So you got a lot of toxicity in the body. Plus, none of this is talking about some other neurotoxins that you might have ingested, like pesticides, herbicides, etc., etc., etc. This is a case where you want a lot of green drinks, parsley, dandelion if you can find it, spinach. I want you to use your beet. You beat bulbs for the liver. Wouldn't hurt to hit the liver for a while. They've saturated you with chemicals, and you're going to have to detoxify yourself no matter how slow or how fast you can go. You'll see. I would suggest that you start with a half a dosage, which is a half a dropper full 3 times a day or 2 times a day, and see how your body responds, because you're right up there on the sensitive list right now. You got to hit those adrenals real hard so you can start getting more neurotransmitters going. The calcium utilization will help the transport, and then as you drain your lymph system, you're going to start regenerating any central nervous system damage, and then you'll start getting more stability and holding your blood pressure up. And that's the only way you're going to get out of this. There's no other way on this planet. There's no way. But this is true almost in every other case, guys. She seems to be an impossible case. She's not an impossible case, but impossible for most of the physicians on this planet right now. And it's like, what? You know, so this is not a difficult case, Kelly. You just got to understand you haven't been focusing on the causative problems. Not your fault. It's a fault of practitioners. It's a fault of the way, it's the consciousness on this planet. And this is why we're doing these videos. You will get out of trouble here, but you got to get focused on your causative problems, and you gave me a great history into this. You showed me your kidney weakness way back. You showed me the neurotoxicity. You showed me in the beginning the poor calcium utilization with the epilepsy. You showed me a lot of things. And so use these formulas and really get up in there. Definitely get in the lymph system. Work on your bowels, 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 bowels. Always work on those. Work on the body as a whole, and you'll pull yourself out of it. Don't know how long it's going to take you, but probably you're going to do a lot better in a much shorter time than you probably realize. But you can call here, talk to Jennifer. We're going to help you with all the information you need free. And so see what they can do with the supplements for you. Sometimes we have some in the back. Some people like to donate. We really haven't set up donations yet, but I do have a foundation. I've just never used it. I've only had one famous recording producer even suggest about donating, and we see a lot of wealthy people. Sad, isn't it? Because we have a lot of cases like yours, and there's thousands and thousands of you out there like this. That feels like there's no hope, there's nowhere to go, and that is another reason we do these videos, because it is important for people like Kelly to find remedy here, and she can find remedy. She hasn't been able to do it. She's been looking at the wrong people, and it doesn't matter. These people should have been able to help her. You go to med school for X amount of years, up to 10 years, and you don't know how to help someone like this? That's a crying shame. What a waste of money. And just actually exacerbated the problem with all these neurotoxins. She's already neurotoxic. So that was a real serious oversight. And then understanding the cerebellum and how it deals with dizziness and equilibrium and how it creates the blood pressure flipping can totally drop it down to nowhere. The kidneys was easy to determine there, and the lymph system with the respiratory and the sinuses, she's backed up. And also, like I said, work on your colon there. And you'll come out of this, sweetheart. So I'm sorry I had to go kind of fast, but we were a little long taking yesterday's videos off, and I was in here earlier, but staff couldn't get to it. See, they can't keep up with this old guy, can they? Chris had to work yesterday, unfortunately, and we were so busy he couldn't tear away to do these videos. I still have a lot of your questions to answer. You can see the importance of that video, but at that video, you're going to see a lot of people more and more with neurotoxicity, people walking up being vaccinated like no big business. And you know what? This is the sad thing, is that we inject mercury still, even though we consider it a neurotoxic experience, and hospitals quarantine mercury spills. You know, it'd be nice to be in a place where everyone is higher consciousness, like-minded, and everybody has humility, and everybody loves everybody and helps everybody, wouldn't it? Time for that, but you know, it's a physical world. We like to still kill people that we don't have a lot of evidence for. That was sad, you know. Georgia, you should be disgraceful. If anything, keep him in jail the rest of your life, but to kill the guy, you didn't have all the evidence. I mean, when there's any kind of doubt, why would you kill him? So this is the kind of consciousness that's out there on this planet. This America. We've got more imprisoned people than any other country on the planet. This is our big free America. Need to take it back, and I mean probably going to have to do it aggressively. So anyway, love you all. Take care. Have a fun day. And Kelly, get a smile on your face, sweetheart.